boys, that was a rough one Sunday. Hey, if you've listened or watched this, listen to this pod, I have repeatedly been saying this for about 5-6 weeks, maybe longer. But what could go wrong will go wrong. And it's becoming comical at this point. Now, I think since we found out that Gardner avoided an ACL tear, which many people feared that's what he did, but apparently he hurt his knee very uh, well, at least to a point where he's not going to play again this year. Maybe it's not an ACL, but apparently it is at least a serious injury that's going to hold him out the final 2 games. And it appeared that he did it early and attempted to try to play through it and couldn't throw the ball 7 yards to Travis Kelce multiple times, just grounding balls, could not move. Trent Green was killing me on the broadcast because he clearly could see, hey, my man can't go. Like Trent was calling for him 2 possessions before he finally came out. But Gardner Minshew comes out. Anybody, what's that kid's name? Somebody give me a pronunciation.
Olendokin. They were struggling on the broadcast as well.
Chris Olendokin. Yeah, and Kevin's beating himself up about it. He is. He prides himself into that. But my man had to roll in. They didn't trust him to throw a pass for about 8 or 9 snaps. I don't know how many times this has happened. In my mind, I can count 3 times that early in the game that there has been a significant injury or something that has to make Andy Reid and Nagy rip up everything maybe that they had planned to do, to have to maybe go in a complete different direction, starting with the first game of the season when they got down to Hollywood Brown and Juju and didn't really know what Tyquan Thornton was, to the Texans game where Wanye tears his knee up on the first play, and now they got to put somebody in that they really don't know what they're going to do in the game, and now they had to do it with the quarterback. I mean, it is
and not to make light of it, but your left tackle disappears for a month, and you just kind of have to make do with that without knowing exactly what the plan is and how long that's going to be.
You're right. No, that did, because so he did. I was going to say that they at least had time to prepare. No, you're right. Sunday Night Football, Pat walked in and said, "Where's Josh?" And they told him he's not here. No, that's right. They didn't have a week to prepare for Josh Simmons.
Their biggest signing of the offseason was a cornerback who doesn't play. Like, it's just,
you're right.
It's been a weird year, man.
Jalen,
in every possible way.
Jalen Moore his wife had just given birth, so he had been up all night, and he rolled in and found out he was starting because Josh and nobody knows. Oh boy, yeah.
Ironically, that was the best game we've seen from Jalen Moore.
Might have been, yep. But no, it is just what could go wrong, would go wrong, and it culminated with them getting their asses kicked by the Tennessee Titans, who quite frankly, to me, put out the better roster that day. When you look at overall what the Chiefs had out there when it got to about the second quarter and Chris had to come in. But man, that was a tough watch. And I'm not gonna lie, I watched just about all of it. I don't know why I couldn't pull away from it. I don't think I'll be able to pull away from it on Christmas, when they play the Broncos. I don't know if it's a car wreck thing, but I am into watching it.
You and I are not built the same, Ron. Because
When'd you check out?
Buddy, if you think I watched most of that game, you are so incredibly wrong. That was a red zone day for me. Like, I'll watch on Christmas because there's no alternative. This one, there was a really good noon slate. There was red zone on, and I wasn't actively choosing to watch Chris Olendokin play against the Tennessee Titans to see which of these teams is going to finish in the top 3 of the NFL draft standings and what the other team does in terms of, like, can they get into the top 10? No, I'm good. I've got other things to do with my Sunday. That was my biggest takeaway. And it was represented by the fact that last week we didn't even give predictions for the game. Like, we forgot to do it at the end of the show. We just kind of kept it moving because we had so much other stuff to do.
I was good. But go ahead.
There was no buzz for this game. Like, there was nothing about it that I found appealing. At least in some preseason games, Ron. And yes, I am saying there are preseason games that I have more anticipation for than this one that we just watched against the Titans. For some of the early portion of the preseason, you can be like, hey, I get to see a new free agent addition for the first time, or a rookie for the first time. You get to see how this new offense looks, a new scheme defensively, whatever it may be. There's something new or fresh about whatever it is that you're going to see that season. There was nothing new, fresh, or interesting about the team that we got to witness on Sunday, and they're just playing out the string. I mean, this is just a bad football team that is trying to limp its way to the finish line. That's all it is. So for me, going into that thing, certainly leaving it, I had zero juice around that game whatsoever. I had no anticipation. I had no expectations. I thought they were going to lose, and they did. And you leave the game, and you're like, all right, yeah, so they lost, and now we're looking at the possibility of getting up to like 8th overall in the NFL draft. And that's the only place that I can put any of my attention right now, because nothing else on the football field really matters.
Thankfully, this week I already had like a early Christmas dinner thing.
You skipped the post game. You skipped the post game show.
But that was actually scheduled weeks ago. Like Mahomes hadn't torn his ACL when I set that up. So it was already planned for me to be off this Sunday. We did still we had the game on at dinner because we were still kind of watching it, but I wasn't locked into it. So otherwise, if I was hosting the post game show, I would have watched every single snap of that game because that's what I do. And that's what I will do on Christmas Day, unfortunately. But yeah, it was nice to just be like, man, I am happy I do not have to be locked into this thing this week against the Tennessee Titans, because it's all come crashing down when that 2-win Titans team that has legitimately been, I think, the worst team in football this season just straight up dominates you like that. And Jeffrey Simmons basically is just dominating the entire game single-handedly himself. And Cam Ward, all of a sudden, who I think Cam Ward has shown some promise this season, despite the fact that the Titans have one of the worst rosters in the league. But when Cam Ward's out there making plays against this team, and it's making you be like, oh man, he's showing Mahomes type of skills out there against this Chiefs team.
I never heard anyone say that, but go ahead.
Oh, there's people online who were talking about that touchdown pass that he threw. But no, that's how it's all just come crashing down. And really, I think the frustrating thing about all of that too, because yes, the injuries and all the guys that you're missing, you can't do anything about that. You can't plan to just lose all of your key players and not have them available at this point in the season. But it does, at some point you have to be okay, but I get it, but also can we get something out of the guys that we still have left on this roster? Can we look competent at all? And the Chiefs just did not look in any way competent against one of the worst teams in the league.
You didn't think they looked competent?
No.
I mean, they had some false starts, but I just think they just had guys out there that weren't. The defense was playing until the dam broke, where it's just oh, hell, man. We're just out here, just get it across midfield and hope Butker can make a 56-yarder. I don't know. I just think they had a bunch of guys out there that would look like they just got real snaps. Hey, man, when you're down to your third string tackles and your third string quarterback, and I don't know.
There's nothing you can do about that. But
I'm just saying in terms of execution, and now we think Matt Nagy and they're supposed to drag shit out of these guys with Jeffrey Simmons and them that's supposed to shake. I don't know. One of the big things, because I think you were kind of getting to this sort of, that I saw a lot of people have issue with, was still seeing hey, you're playing the Titans. Who cares? You're eliminated. There's no Mahomes. You're in your third street quarterback. You got your tackles in there, and still not seeing some young guys get enough run, right? Like I am certain Rashard Smith didn't get a carry in the game, and guys like Jalen Royals, I don't even know if he got snaps, right? If he did offensively, and just even some of the guys on the line or whatever.
I think one. He had one offense.
Did he have one? That was a big complaint that I heard coming out of the game. You've muted yourself again, BK. That's all right, man.
Dang, man. I tried to get off of it. My dog started barking there for a second. I apologized. All right, hey, 3, man. 2, 1. It was a big complaint, and I'm not going to be among those that are complaining about it. Ron, I just can't bring myself to care. The number of people that I have seen saying something to the effect of, how are you not getting Jalen Royal snaps? What a waste of a 4th-round pick. Dude, it's a 4th-round pick. What do people I am losing my mind on the Brett Veach is the worst GM in the NFL stuff. Like it's driving me bonkers. 4th-round picks get cut from teams. Like there are 4th-round picks this upcoming season that will not make their opening day roster on their NFL teams, and that's fine. Day 3 selections are a crapshoot. Most of the time they don't work. And most of the time, you assume the guy will not impact your team for the first couple of seasons. Honestly, the Chiefs have done pretty well on day three, all things considered. Jalen Royals has no path to impacting this team. I'm not talking about for 2025. I'm talking about for 2026 or 2027. There's no path for him. Xavier Worthy, I don't think realistically is going anywhere. Rashee Rice is probably going to be back next season. My guess is they'll probably try to bring back Tyquan Thornton in some capacity. He's not even passing up Nico Remigio. They like Nico more than Jalen Royals right now. And listen, I know people just hate this coaching staff. Maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe Jalen Royals isn't ready to play right now, and I'm focusing all of my attention on him because I think he's symbolic of the players that people apparently want to see on the football field. Dameon Pierce, are you kidding me?
Oh, he was inactive. How is he inactive?
He couldn't help the Texans. Ron, you've seen the Texans running game. They're not exactly flush with talent in the backfield right now. Like their guy that they thought was going to be the starting running back for the Houston Texans is out for the season, and Joe Mixon, like he's just banished away from the NFL right now because of an injury. Dameon Pierce couldn't even help that team. So no, that's not your future at the running back position. Would I have liked to see Brashard Smith get more carries? Sure. That one I at least think is a reasonable thing to ask for. But beyond that, who were these guys, these fictional characters that Chiefs fans seem to believe should have been getting all of these snaps? Jeffrey Bossa? The 5th-round linebacker that's probably never going to be anything more than a special teamer? Come on, guys. Let's be real. Let's be reasonable with our criticism of this team. There's plenty of it that can be fair.
You hit it. And we have just reached a point, fellas, where people just want to be mad. They just want to be mad and be mad at stuff. Because you know good and hell well. Because, see, yours is Jalen Royals. And I'll piggyback with Dameon Pierce. And listen, I think Dameon Pierce does have talent, and I would love to see Dameon Pierce outside of a Texans regime that didn't seem to be a fit, because he was really good his rookie year. If rookie year Dameon Pierce is a compliment back to somebody, I think you might have something. But let me just be real about this. All you liars. And I'm talking to some of you that are listening. A little tough love here. All you little liars out there who are saying, and I read them out there, the Lances of the world. I did that for you, Steve. Like all you, like, why not play Dameon Pierce? Why not play Jalen Royals? Oh, yeah. So you tell me what the hell Dameon Pierce and Jalen Royals could do in these final 3 games to where you would say, yes, Brett Veach, that's the answer next year. That's the answer. No. Dameon Pierce and Jalen Royals, you just went through the receiving corps, right? there's going to be another receiver added to that. Do you think those people out here crying about Jalen Royals want it to be Jalen Royals, or do you think they want it to be somebody that's either in the draft or outside of this team that's a veteran? Right? You'll lose your damn mind no matter what. Jalen Royals could go for 150 the next 2 weeks. And if you mean to tell me Jalen Royals is going to be the answer, is to slide into the slot of Hollywood Brown, to slide into the slot of the fourth receiver, that's what you would want? Bullshit. You know it's not the case. Dameon Pierce can't do anything over the next 2 weeks or last week to make you say that's going to be the answer at running back. We've solved it. You're full of it. Stop this. You all just want to be mad. You want to be mad. I understand you're tired of Isaiah Pacheco. That's fine. But you can understand why he's going to get carries. Maybe there's an understand. Maybe. Like, and maybe people act like they can't look at the build of Brashard Smith and understand why. Maybe there's a reason why Brashard Smith doesn't run in between the tackles. I don't know. Why don't you look at that? What makes you think we can't keep Pacheco and Hunt healthy running in between the tackles? You think we're going to do it with him? Get out of here with this thing. People right now just want to be mad. You got to see Jack Cochran. He played. That Cooper McDonald fella, he played. The only person that, to me, I got a problem with they doesn't play is Gelati, and I am enjoying what I am seeing from him the last several weeks, and Noel Williams. All right, those two. The other ones, come on, man. Those two guys are going to be real answers in their rotation or in their secondary. I think Noel's going to be a starter next year. These other jokers, come on, man. Jalen Rose can't even get back there and return kicks. I know we think Dave is dumb, but God, dog, Dave is a damn near Hall of Fame special teams coordinator. You think he couldn't decipher giving Jalen Royals a shot?
I don't know, man. Sky Moore's one of the best kick returners in the NFL right now.
Stop. You didn't want that. You didn't like that. You didn't want that.
Yes.
I know it, but you're not.
I don't know what the 49ers are getting out of him, but he's been one of the best return men in the league.
Don't spin that around again. You think that was the answer. All right, hell, let's keep Sky Moore on the roster and let him return kicks. That's what you thought the answer would be. I know he's had some success, fine, but that's not what you're looking at saying, Brett Petrilli, fuck that one. No, come on now. There's no chance that you're thinking it. Yeah.
Come here, Bill.
No, I don't think that any of those players are gonna, make like a dramatic difference. But it would be nice to get a look at them. Like, I obviously wasn't locked into this game, so like I'm assuming he was probably wasn't even active. But like Jared Wiley, like I don't think that Jared Wiley
got a couple snaps
is going to be the answer for post Travis Kelce or anything like that. Maybe he is going to wind up being an effective player or whatever. But it's like maybe try to get the guys with a little bit of upside some looks and see if they can do anything. Like I'm in favor of that. I agree that I don't think any of these guys are going to be dramatic difference makers for the Chiefs in the future, but like at least like let's get them some looks. Like I don't think that I agree that it's not a huge part of the plan and the future of this team, but let's at least get those guys some reps and see if they can do anything because they're not even getting reps.
I'm not even going to – I don't mean to speak for BK, but I think I can. And Serda, we're not even talking about people like you. I think you legit – you sit through preseason games. I think you legit want to see like, all right, let's see what these guys can do. I think we have some people out here who are just liars and are mad. I think it's the same people who just have now caught on to the scheme. No, the scheme sucks. And I don't even think they know what the hell that means. They're just saying it because everyone else is saying, or people are saying the scheme sucks. Well, I want to start challenging those people. Tell me what it is about the scheme that sucks. You mean this same scheme that this, like what particular are you talking about? You're just hanging on to what others are saying. No. And I know that's not everybody, but like I said, I'm not saying that towards people like you. I'm just talking about there are people who are just mad and complaining and just saying stuff that they don't even really know about.
I guess my question would be this, and again, Serda, I'm not trying to push back hard against what you said. I'm just using you as symbolism for a greater portion of this discussion. Who are these players? Like, who are the guys that we desperately need to see before the end of the season, and who are they playing over? Like Jalen Royals, who's he getting the snaps over? And I think the thing for me, like if you want to play him now the last couple of weeks of the season, I'd be fine with it. I don't have an issue with them putting him on the field. But where I do think it is a little dishonest is that some people are using the entirety of the season and saying, how could you have not given him snaps before now? Well, because Rashee Rice was playing, because Hollywood Brown was playing, because Juju was playing, who people now magically hate. Like he's been a more than capable player for you. Xavier Worthy was getting those snaps. Tyquan, like, what are we talking about? That's 5 receivers that were, of course, going to get snaps over Jalen Royals this year and should have at every step of the way. This is a team that up until, I don't know, the last week really has still viewed itself as a Super Bowl contender. So no, I'm sorry, but they were not prioritizing the growth of a young player over their established veterans. Again, nor should they have. On the defensive side of the ball, like who are these guys? Were they going to see Jeffrey Bossa getting opportunities over Drew Tranquill or Nick Bolton rather, or some of their other guys that are veterans that have proven things like Leo? No. So again, if they want to see it now, cool. I'm fine with it. Are the players that we're talking about though, Serda, is it just Jeffrey Bossa, Brashard Smith, Jalen Royals? Is that it?
Jared Wiley.
Okay.
Yeah, but
are they giving him snaps over Travis Kelce if Travis Kelce still wants to play?
No, and that's the problem. And I don't think he's like, I mean, Robert Tunyon's still getting snaps over Jared Wiley. So.
But again, my point is, like, Steve, your temperament makes sense. We got people out here who are irate, and as BK is saying, tying that to that Brett Veach and Andy and Matt Nagy and the coaching staff don't know what they're doing, and that's bullshit. And I would just and it is, and I would.
It's one thing if there's like 6 games left in the season too. Like we have 2 games left in the season. They're just trying to get to the end. Like,
you're not this mad. You're not this mad at that. This is like that one time that Courtney came home and we had some issue with the dog food, and she was at a damn 10 about the dog food, and it was clear that this was not about dog food, right? This was clearly dog food was the topic that led to C, but this was clearly about something much deeper. And the not playing Jarrett Wiley is not something that's getting you irate to thinking that they don't know what they're doing. You're mad about something else, and this is how you're taking it out. And I want to add something else to this, because BK, you've been talking about you're over the Brett Veach doesn't know what he's doing thing, and I would throw Andy right in there, because it's a package deal. Because now we think Andy Reid last year was being talked about as the best coach of all time. That was a real conversation. And now people after this year, and it ain't like he's just had a smooth year with health and no issues. This year, now this fool don't know what he's doing. This ain't a situation where he's going out and got a girlfriend that's 40 years younger than him. This ain't a situation where he's going and hired a guy who is a longtime defensive coordinator to go run his offense, right? Like this isn't one of those situations. Like Andy Reid, like still knows what he's doing. Brett Veach still knows what they're doing. And I cannot wait till this season ends, obviously for obvious reasons. But every week, people are just going to make up things and just ignore the complete situation to continue to just sing the praises of Patrick Mahomes. And he deserves the praise. He is the number one reason why I believe him and Andy Reid are the top reasons why this team has been on the run it's been on. But I'll be damned. You walked out there last week and watched that game, and you saw yourself that along with Patrick Mahomes being out of this game, Jalen Watson missed the game. Or I'm sorry, not Jalen Watson. Rashee Rice missed the game. Derek Nottie missed the game. Tyquan Thornton missed the game. Jalen Moore missed the game. Trent McDuffie missed the game. Leo Chanel missed the game. Jawan Taylor missed the game. Wanye Morris missed the game. Chris Roland Wallace missed the game. Josh Simmons missed the game. Omar Norman Lott missed the game. These are all guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Gardner Minshew looks like he tore his ACL on the first drive and had to come out at the end of the first quarter. And you're down to your third quarterback, and you're an injury away or a hamstring pull away from Noah Gray going in. Yesterday, on Sunday, people made it seem like that Patrick Mahomes was carrying that roster for the last several years. That Patrick, ignoring the fact that they scored 10 and 13 points the last 2 weeks. But with those bad tackles, they scored 9. Ignoring the fact that all of those guys are out. That's like 8 starters. And then some of their backups. They're down to, again, a guy who got cut from the Jets a month ago and a guy who was an international pick for them as their tackles. Clearly, on the safety, some guys got crossed up, maybe not knowing they were doing out there. Like you had Trey Smith, who's clearly hurt, out there trying to go. Like to think that was what Brett Veach to blame and come out from Sunday's game to say, look at what Patrick Mahomes has been carrying. That's not the team Brett Veach put out there, and you know it. That's not the team that Andy Reid thought he was going to be calling plays for, and you know it. How many times do you think Chris has taken snaps with those guys this year? How many times do you think he's put his hand under Creed Humphrey's butt? How many times do you think they've heard his cadence? Come on, guys. Like it's just, again, wanting to be mad at. But now Brett Veach, now this is the team that we know. Watched it. Look at what happens. They can't beat the Titans when Patrick Mahomes is hurt. Yeah, and 12 other important pieces to the team. Now we had her thinking, Brett Veach, boy, he's on the hot seat. That's not the team Brett Veach put out there, and you know it. And I am so over the commentary every week that there's one person who is absolved of everything, or there's one person that is saying, and Patrick Mahomes is amazing. Patrick Mahomes wasn't going to do much with that roster yesterday. Now, of course, he's going to be better than Gardner with a torn ACL and this Chris kid. Of course, yes. He's not doing it. He's not doing anything that's over the top of what Josh is doing. Right? Like he's not, like, let's just calm it down. Like Brett Veach did not go out there and have Esapole as the plan to be his left tackle. No, he didn't have Jack Cochran, who can't stop getting penalties on special teams, to be his outside linebacker. That was not the game plan. So just stop with this. It is just ridiculous every single week, the commentary on everybody that is holding Patrick Mahomes back. It's just not, it's just silly.
Every week seems to be a referendum on the team building approach as opposed to just like this specific season and what's gone wrong. I will say this, Ron. I agree with most of what you said there, but I do think Sunday was a reminder of some of the deficiencies with the roster right now. And that's been the case all season long. I mean, we've been talking about this stuff. None of this was new on Sunday. But like I look at the Chargers, for example. Chargers have been playing most of the season without both of their offensive tackles. They've found ways to overcome that. The Chiefs, it seems as though they are incapable for the most part of doing that. We've seen them play without offensive tackles at times in the past, and it has not gone particularly well for the offense. Even when they found a way to win games, despite their tackles being out, it's mostly been ugly football. Some of these other teams seem to have better plans of overcoming that. And I do think that speaks to some of the offense's deficiencies and just like schematically what they're trying to accomplish out there. And then you look at it overall, like the receivers for the most part are in place. Rasheed obviously is not out there, but like this was kind of the plan. And I think we have seen, again, this is not a new thing from Sunday, but this group just wasn't as good as, I will include myself in this category, we all thought that they were going to be coming into the season. And there are some real warts within that room. And I do think they need an outside addition going into 2026, because I'm not anticipating Jalen Royals, for example, is going to come in and like light this world on fire. I don't think he is the magical elixir that will improve that room. So I do think they've got some serious issues. And I do think on Sunday, a lot of those issues were exposed, but nothing that we saw on Sunday was surprising. It wasn't new. It wasn't different. It was just a different guy behind center that isn't able to mask over, paper mache some of those issues. And so it was like, instead of avoiding those issues, they were almost highlighted because of the quarterback play that was out there on Sunday. That's the way that I kind of viewed it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not taking away that Patrick Mahomes doesn't mask some things, right? He's a fixer. I think he's one of those type quarterbacks. But we clearly saw, man, like it got down real bad when he didn't have tackles or a guard, right? Like, I mean, he couldn't fix it the last couple of weeks, right? Like, and I would argue they were finding ways to get around it, right? They weren't hitting some of these plays that were there. And two, right, they still were they were still competitive in games. This Sunday looked like guys had never played with each other. And some of the top guys, out, right? Like it, and so I'm just saying it's a difference. But yeah, I think Chris and Gardner Minshew would have been a better place if their tackles were there, or Rashee Rice was there, or the full defense was there. Like the if they had the planned roster, because that's what I'm saying is people looked at the game Sunday and acted as if this is proof that he's been dragging this roster together, and that's not the roster anywhere close to the plan of it. And I do think Andy Reid has a better shot of making the offense look better than it did, even with those guys. Why? Because he's done it for years, even without Patrick Mahomes, than it did that game. I mean, shit. I mean, they just, I don't know. I don't know how you can look at Sunday's game and say, see, there's proof right there. This roster is only being held together by 15. Yeah, he is a big point and a game changer, but that's not what the damn plan was. It's just, again, as I said, I think folks are mad to be mad, and luckily, I will say this: luckily for everybody, not just us, people doing Chiefs content all over the place, that damn stadium thing has come about, and the move thing has come about because, this gives you something that people are passionate about and don't have to talk about that other trash that we've got to deal with the next 2 days. And it is official. The Chiefs are moving to Wyandotte County, moving to Kansas City, Kansas. They'll be out there, the Legends, and they're going to build what I think will be one of the great sports entertainment venues in the country, in the world. As they will have over $2 billion to spend, just kind of ballpark it. Well, there's a recent one that was just built that was 1.9 billion. That was a little one of the, I don't want to, maybe it's Mercedes. I can't remember who it was, but just recently, a beautiful facility was just built. Maybe it's SoFi, I can't remember, but just built for less than what the Chiefs will have to build this one. And listen, as somebody, I think Serda is a Kansan, at least growing up, although I don't think I've ever known Serda to live in Kansas at this point. And I know me and BK are guys on the Missouri side.
I've lived in Kansas since I was like 20.
Do you live in Kansas right now? When's the last time you lived in Kansas?
When I was like 20.
Oh, I thought you said I've been living since. Yeah, so you've been in Missouri on the other side. I mixed that up. I thought you were saying since you. Anyway, and so I understand and know like this is a tough one for people in Missouri. This is a tough one. This is a tough one that driving in on 70, you're not going to see that potentially at some point in 10 years anymore, that the stadiums are going to be moved and that you have to drive across state lines. Like, God honest, when you say it out loud, it's 13, 14 miles away from Arrowhead, the area that it's going to be in. We go to the damn Legends all the time when I lived there. We go to the Legends all the time. I've gone to sporting. Like, the people go out there in Missouri. And they're not moving to Nashville. But there is just a hang up for people in Missouri to have to go across and stuff be there. And it is, and I'll be honest, like looking at this and listening to people on both sides, because you got people in Missouri talking about they're not going to go over there. I'm not paying to go over there. I don't believe you. Now, some of you may hold out for maybe a little while, but I think eventually you're going to go over there. But there is a bit of a deal of, hey, man, this is Kansas City. As long as y'all ass come over here to Missouri. Now, we got to start going over there to that Kansas side. I don't know. No, it's Kansas City as long as we come over here. But this will be some change. I think ultimately in 5 to 10 years, people will get to a space understanding the advantages of having this new stadium and all the things it will bring to the city. And yes, most of it will come in Kansas, but if the Final Four or WrestleMania or SummerSlam is there, Kansas City, Missouri is going to reap the benefits as well of that. Big events going to be there. You can have concerts all times of the year now. Big concerts. Like they would Beyonce. I had to go see Beyonce in St. Louis because there was no facility in that wasn't in the summer that they could go there. Taylor can come here and do a show 10 times now, no matter what the time is. And both sides of the state will reap it. But I can understand, being somebody who's from Missouri, how much of a blow this is.
Okay. I want to start with the Arrowhead portion of this, Ron, because that's kind of gotten a lot of the attention this week for good reason. Arrowhead's going away, and that sucks. I mentioned this last week. Arrowhead Stadium is like one of my favorite places in the world. We had season tickets growing up. It is something that I've seen some of the reaction from people locally saying that, hey, that was never an iconic stadium. Well, if Arrowhead's not an iconic stadium, there's like one iconic stadium in the NFL, and it must be Lambeau. Yeah. Arrowhead Stadium is an iconic stadium in the NFL. It's one of the greatest places that you can go to watch a football game. And a lot of that is tied into the parking lot. Like, a lot of your memories, a lot of my shared memories are from going to that parking lot 4, 5, 6 hours prior to the game and hanging out there and just throwing football around, right? Like, the fact that you have so much space to just go out there and do whatever is a huge part of what makes Arrowhead what it is. Another part of it is that it's outdoors. Like, the fact that you have to go out there in January when it's negative 10 degrees outside and it's absolutely miserable, and you can come together with 80,000 of your closest friends in the world for that 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, however long you're out there, that makes it special. It's a unique experience in Kansas City. And it was going away no matter what. Like, let's be real about this.
Yeah.
The Chiefs were not staying at Arrowhead. The plan that they proposed, and we said this at the time, it was a crap plan. It wasn't well thought out. It was clearly put together seemingly last minute. It was changing literally all the way up until the vote. Now, a lot of that is on the Royals, but the Chiefs were a part of that. They chose to be a part of the plan with the Royals going into that thing. And so, no, it wasn't going to pass, and it shouldn't have passed, in my personal opinion. It was not a good plan put forth by the team. And so when that failed, the logical endpoint was always this. Arrowhead's going away, and that means they're going to listen to other offers. And when they have other offers at the table that include as much public financing as has ever been on the table for any team in the history of America, yeah, That's tough for them to say, no, we're not going to accept that. Ron, I've got the list right now of the most expensive stadiums in the NFL. Number 1 on the list is SoFi at $6 billion. Number 2, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, adjusting for inflation, $2.3 billion. The Chiefs playing stadium is going to cost roughly $3 billion, which means that it has a chance to be the second most expensive stadium in the NFL, which means it's going to be a stunning experience for people as they walk through the door. So it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be state of the art. It's going to probably be cookie cutter. And
tailgating is still going to be there. They're not going to take that.
I hope so. There will be aspects of this experience that do not feel the same, because there's no way to recreate what you have at Arrowhead. The tailgating, even if they try to recreate it, Ron, it won't be the same as it was at Arrowhead. If they try to recreate some of the atmosphere at Arrowhead, it won't be quite the same, because it's probably going to be domed and it's not going to be constructed in the same way that Arrowhead was. So that same experience that you once had, much like all of our lives in America in general, it will not be the same as it once was. But there will be benefits to it, and you'll get more events that come to the city. I agree with Ron. Like, I've seen a lot of people that are Missouri honks that say something to the effect of, well, now Missouri is going to lose out on all of this revenue that's going to be taking place in Kansas. I mean, some of it, sure. Yeah. But a lot of it, like, where do you think people are going to stay whenever they come to some of these events? They're going to stay downtown, because that's where everything is. I don't think a lot of them are going to be staying in Bonner Springs, where there's like literally 3 hotels. What are we talking about here? So yeah, it's a long.
They're going to be at the plaza. They're going to be at downtown.
Like, they're going to be in the crossroads. They're going to be hanging out where the stuff is that you can do. So it sucks. I don't want Arrowhead to go away, but it was always going to be going away. And therefore, if it had to happen, I think this is as good of a way for it to take place as any. Sorry, I know that was long-winded, but I got a lot of thoughts on the matter.
And I know they want to build like a bar district around the new stadium site. Because like right now, like, yes, there's a lot of stuff out there. Like the Legends has a lot of stuff, but it's mostly like family restaurants and stuff like that. There's not a ton of bars like immediately around the Legends in that area. So like they could definitely use stuff like that. But like, yeah, you're totally right. People who come from out of town, they're still going to stay in the coolest parts of Kansas City where there's the most things to do. And that's going to be downtown. That's going to be the plaza. Like that's going to be those areas of Kansas City. And like the Chiefs never wanted the vote to go through. They didn't want to be tied to the Royals anymore when it comes to this kind of stuff. They wanted to be wined and dined. And like, yes, there was part of like Clark probably, you know, going through this thing of like, oh, giving up Arrowhead and the legacy of his father and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's, oh, we're going to be eligible for Super Bowls. Like we're going to be able to get all of these things here. The amount of revenue that they're going to be able to do like concert wise year round is going to be astronomical compared to what they can do with Arrowhead right now. Like it's a huge win for the Chiefs in the fact that they're getting all of this taxpayer money to build all of this, and it just opens the door for tons of other stuff. I'm still bummed about Arrowhead too. I've had Chiefs season tickets before. I've got plenty of great memories at Chiefs games with friends and family, and being in the press box or post-game locker room and covering the football team. Like all of that stuff's sad, and it is a bummer, but these things also happen. My group chats were just like absolutely lighting up yesterday because all of my local friends are really upset about this and pissed off and telling me how it's going to be so different and the atmosphere is going to be so different. And I was like, what, you're just never going to go to a Chiefs game again? It's like, well, of course I'm going to a Chiefs game again. Well, yeah, it's going to be fine then. Maybe it's not going to be the exact same, but a lot of people were driving from all over to come to Chiefs games, and it's going to be the same. It's just 15 minutes in the other direction now. Like it's going to wind up being beneficial for everybody, but I understand why people are upset about it.
Yeah. The people in Minnesota got over the Metrodome. and listen, I understand how much Arrowhead means to people, but like a couple of things here is that there is no explanation or anything that can get across of the Chiefs deal that they got was so far better than anything that was being offered from anyone else that it just you can't. I mean, you can't. I mean, it was like you said, wined and dined. And I think my big issue, one of my other big points to this is it felt like to me that the Missouri side took things for granted. And I'm not just talking about up until when they put that plan together. They put that plan together because I think in parts, like it wasn't like the Missouri side was laying out like all of these options and everything that they could do to come close to what Kansas is doing, right? They're forcing them to be and try to be connected with the Royals when they shouldn't have to be. Like, it was not like, to me, it felt like Missouri was like, yeah, they'll be loyal. Yeah, they'll be like, to me, they weren't. Kansas, you got one side breaking their back, doing everything they can to accommodate you. And we got another side out there just like, and I think it's maybe a lesson learned, and hopefully that Jackson County and the Missouri side learns this lesson with the Royals and don't lose them over to the Kansas side. But I just look at this like, to me, the Missouri side made it easy for the Chiefs to go to the Kansas side.
Can I say something that's going to be probably pretty unpopular, Ron?
What?
It was the right decision by Missouri to do that. Like, I don't think it would have been smart business, in my opinion. And again, I understand this is probably unpopular and this is going to like kind of bleed into politics conversation here, but I don't think it's smart business for Missouri to offer $2 billion to Clark Hunt and the Hunt family to construct a new stadium. I don't know how you're going to be able to make that money back. Like, I think them going 15 minutes in the other direction is fine. If I was a policymaker on the Missouri side of things, I would look at this and say, hey, man, listen, they put together a crap plan. We tried to keep them. We had the funding in place in order to fund at least that crap plan that the Chiefs put together in order to keep them in Kansas City on the Missouri side of things. And they chose not to. Now, for the Royals, like, I think downtown baseball is the way to go. I've always felt that way. And I would like the Royals to move down there. And maybe this will allow some of those funds to be reallocated to the Royals side of things. That being said, if the Royals decide it is in our best interest as well to follow the Chiefs and also go out to Bonner Springs, guess what? I'm still probably going to go to Royals games. The only thing I really care about is that the teams stay in Kansas City proper. And if that means that they're on the Kansas side of things and they get the benefit of those tax dollars, like, so be it. But as a fan, and now I'm just talking about it from a fan's perspective, it doesn't really change that much. If you're somebody that lives downtown, well, you're going to have to drive 20 minutes in one direction or 20 minutes in the other direction. If you're somebody that lives like we did, Ron, in Blue Springs, all right, you're going to have to drive a little further. Instead of it being 20 minutes to get to the stadium, it's going to take you 40 minutes to get to the stadium. That's not all that dissimilar from a lot of these areas that have these stadiums in place. So it just doesn't hit me the way that it does clearly with some. The one thing that has hit me a little bit, they're going to have these players practicing in Olathe. Like that's what we're doing here. We're going out to of all places that we were going to construct this practice facility, and probably I would assume playing or going out for training camp. They're going to be in Olathe. State
of the art, baby.
All right, that is quite a choice. I did not have that on my bingo card. Olathe getting the training facility. Good for you, Olathe.
I don't really know what that's about, but
it's amazing.
Yeah,
spread it out there, baby. Really stick it into Jackson County.
That's also like out of areas in Kansas that I have to drive to, Olathe the worst.
Oh, going out there for training camp, if that's the way that they decide to go about it, and I'm guessing they probably will, because they're going to have everything there. That's not going to be a particularly enjoyable drive / experience to get in and out of. Not that St. Joe was
about to say
ideal either.
St. Joe was a
I think more people will probably be able to get to this because it's just closer for more people in the city.
Yeah. All right. Hey, don't cheer against him. Don't cheer against him on Christmas. Get a dub.
Oh,
Get a
I'm
dub,
absolutely cheering against them. I hope they lose.
I can't do it.
I hope they lose by 2 or 1, but I hope they lose this game. They need a better draft pick.
I don't care that much.
Let's be real here. They're not winning this game.
I don't care. I really don't like. To me, the draft. Like I feel like I can understand the ballpark area they're going to be around, and I think they're going to have a chance to find a great player. So I don't know whether they're 8 to 12. It doesn't. It's not that big of a deal to me. All right, we are out.